We're going to do a live here, touring this old home that I'm looking at. And I'm looking at this for a project, but I look at these homes a lot with clients too. And I just want to show people what you need to look for when you're looking at these homes. And I'm going to show you, by the way, the reason why I'm standing where I am, it's raining here. I'm over here in the Littleton, Colorado area, and it is coming down, and we need the rain, but go figure, I want to walk you around in the outside here. But right now, you really can't. It's coming down pretty good. But speaking of rain, when I look at a home to buy, the first thing I look at to see if there's going to be any concern at all is this. I look at the gutters in the downspouts. This is a good sign if water has been getting away from the house, because when you live out here in the Colorado area, especially, we have expansive soils, and really I like to have the downspouts on here, but they have this old school concrete thing here that, you know, will get water away. But it's been raining and there hasn't been any water coming out of there yet, so we'll see what happens. But if you see that they haven't been down, you always want to check the brick out. Brick can give you an idea of things to be cautious on. And also, this garage door, you can see, looks like it needs some work. Looks like it's an old door. Has a little bit of, it's just paint missing here. This can be all right. But this door looks like it's going to have to be replaced. And out here in Colorado, our flat work just gets killed because of our expansive soils. So this actually looks pretty good. Looks like it had been repoured at one time, and it looks good and wet right now. So I guess, you know, it makes it look even better. But anyway, you want to factor in the flat work, especially in areas out in Colorado, because this takes a beating out here and so forth. And then I'm walking up to the front door, and we can see where the front porch is cracking away from the house, and it's sloping a little bit here. And if you look at that pillar over here, you will see that there's a gap. Maybe we can get, you guys can see the gap. So this thing, there's been some movement here. You can see the gap right down there. This whole thing is sloping. And if this didn't have the top up here, I'd be okay with that, because at least the water's getting away from the house. Because I stress to my clients, you want the water to always get away from the house. I don't care if you live out here in the Colorado area, especially, that's a big deal. But let's continue to walk around. Looks like this has a sprinkler system. Looks like it's been leaking a bit here, so we may have some problems with the sprinklers. Wow, we're getting some rain here. I don't know where everybody else is at, but we're finally getting a little much needed rain. Well, let's look at this downspout. It's a little messed up. And by the way, it looks like these have been replaced at one time, because they're the larger units here, and I like that. But this doesn't look like it does any good because it slopes upward. Anyway, not really doing its job. And you can see on the brick where we have some cracking going on, a little settling. And not saying that this is the culprit, but those are things that you want to look for when you're out looking around the house. Looks like we got some bars on the windows, so those will definitely have to go. But this house does have a sprinkler system, so we will take that. So anyway, let's head inside now and see if this rain goes away. Show you this time capsule. Get this. So anyway, we got little dated tiles here in the old woodwork. We have some wallpaper going on here. And this I call the drunk step when you come in the house. And a lot of new homes have this drunk step, and you can see the raised area there. And I call it that because you can trip on that and fall. That's why I call it that. You can give me some comments on what you feel and so forth on that. Anyway, it looks like we got kind of a weird room here. And a lot of these older homes, they don't have lights. They had the old school outlets where you had to plug in your lamps and so forth. But this room would definitely have to go. We have some hardwood flooring, original hardwoods going on here. They look actually to be in pretty good shape because I think this home was a rental. We do have forced air, which is good. A lot of older homes too, depending on their age, have boiler and so forth, which isn't a bad thing. And to be honest with you, you'll see some homes out here in Colorado that we have swamp coolers to cool in the summertime. And they're not central air, but they actually keep a place pretty cool. So if you see a house that has the baseboards and such and non-forced air, you know, that's a give and take with people. I prefer forced air. I don't know what everybody else thinks out there about forced air, but that's my preference. Anyway, so this is just kind of a dysfunctional area. So I'd really think we'd have to open this up, get my structural guy out here, check out the cool chandelier, and then let's go on into the family room here, which we've got paneling galore going on here. As you can see, they still have the curtains or the drapes. Again, these windows, those bars on the windows are going to have to go. Again, these wood floors, looks like we got a stain here, so we'll have to do a little work there. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like it when the floors go in different directions. At least the hardwoods are in here. You will see places that have this kind of flooring, carpet, vinyl plank. You have like 10 different types of flooring going on, but at least we have some hardwood in here going on. And one thing I want to tell you here about the fireplace, if you're old school and you want wood burning, you want to keep that. If you go and convert that to gas, like a lot of people do, the county and the city, they won't let you convert that back. So once you get rid of that, you cannot get that back. So anyway, let's check out this kitchen. It looks like they have somewhat updated this. And back really quick, I'd probably, if this was me, I would take this out and just open this whole area up, because this, I mean, check out this wet bar. Imagine the stories going on over here back in the day. But yeah, I would take this out in that room and open this all up to this kitchen. And again, it's a smaller kitchen. I mean, it would do if you just wanted something to move into and so forth. But it looks like they had redone the faces of the cabinets, but the old cabinets are still here. I've got a great place in the area that I can get new cabinets and give this kitchen some pop. But usually you'll want to take the soffit out up here, and then you can put in some 42-inch cabinets. Depending what's in there, some of these older homes, there's a lot of plumbing and stuff that runs through, but this is a ranch home, so we don't have to worry as much about it. Got a little pantry. Again, this all needs to go. And here's the floor I was telling you about. Here's a little different floor going on compared to the rest. Oh, check these out. Wow, look at the curtains here. Those are definitely from back in the day. Those are cool. Anyway, this kitchen could definitely be expanded, open it up. There was the room I had you in before, so there's a lot of potential here. We do have, obviously, the laundry room with some wild wallpaper going on. And this is obviously, yes, the garage. Back, that's good. It has an exit door there. Some of the homes don't. So the laundry room is right where it should be anyway. And again, it's all on the main level. Yeah, let's go back and check out the bedrooms. And a lot of these old homes too, they have like stomp texture in this style of home. I don't know what kind of texture you all care for, but I always like to get rid of this and retexture it in today's standards. And wow, look at this bathroom. Check out the wallpaper. Now I'd like to know, would people want to keep that? Doors in decent shape. Check out the tile in the tub itself. It looked like the toilet obviously was changed, but a lot of these homes have all these cool pink and green and yellow and root beer looking tiles and so forth. And I know everybody tears these out, but what do you guys think? Someday, do you think this is ever going to come back? I don't know. I'm an old vintage car collector and I love old stuff, but someday I think they are going to try to find a way to reuse some of that because I think that's cool. These doors are actually in decent shape, but most people would probably either paint them or tear them out and put more modern doors in. What I like to do in my projects, if I'm replacing doors, I like the 2-panel doors. I don't know what you like. That's what I like. Again, if you're moving into a home, there is no right or wrong. It's what makes you happy. We got an intercom system. When's the last time you've seen anything like that? Well, we got a window here that's broken. And again, a dark room where there are no lights in here. These old homes don't really have access to a lot of lighting, but we have a nice walk-in closet in this bedroom. A little trim up there and some more wallpaper that you're going to have to deal with. And now we are in the master, or I'm sorry, the primary. Sorry, somebody was beeping in on me there. This is my first live, by the way, so hang in there. I wish this room had a light in here so you could really see it, but check out these mirrors. I mean, what was going on back in the day? In this bathroom, check that out. And this was a popular feature, especially back in the day. And you see that in the entryways as well. We usually remove all that and open that up. Definitely would take all this out and raise that up, get rid of that big mirror and so forth, and just redo this. And look how low these cabinets are. I mean, those are, I feel like my kneecaps go where the sink is. So obviously you'll do some new cabinets here. Must have been a cat in here. I don't know. I'm allergic to cats. I can feel it in a second. This little shower, they've updated it a little bit with one of those shower kits. Check out, you wouldn't want to trip on that. Let's see, a little area for your towels and such. Let's check out the closet in this one. It's decent size for a home of this style. All right, well, let's go to the basement. Wait till you see the basement. This will really get you. And it starts with the stairs, so here we go. Check that out. All right, there's got to be somebody out there that thinks that's cool. They're not really padded well, but boy, they're in good shape. They're not all wore out, believe it or not. And check this out. I mean, we have, oh, you have to stay tuned because the room to my left, you're just gonna just be wowed by that. Well, we got some serious paneling going on. We have wallpaper. We even have the cedar storage area, I guess. Can't really call that a closet. And usually if you're looking at these older homes, check out the carpet. The walls are pretty well covered in here. And I wish there was a wall I could show. There might be in that room. I want to show you some things to look for too, to look for some structural issues, because we see that a lot out here. A lot of the homes I do a lot of structural repairs. But anyway, let's get you back to this time capsule. Check out those light fixtures. This thing's got a whole lot of everything going on. So obviously we'd have to tear this off and re-drywall it. Some people paint over this. I highly recommend, if you don't need to, don't do that. Tear that off and just re-sheetrock it. But really quick, I told you, you had to see this room. Wait till you see this. Are you ready? Check this out. Look at this wallpaper and the tile on the floor. How wild is that? Somebody's got to think that's cool out there. And check out the jacuzzi tub. Look at these old knobs. That is quite the tub and quite the quite the wallpaper. Check that out. They really like the roosters. Anyway, we're into the utility room here. The furnace, and always carry a flashlight with you. This is a great LED light. You can really use this to really find things. And a lot of these homes are dark when you go in. Some of them don't even have power, but this thing is a dinosaur. I will say these things last longer than today's furnaces, but again, you'll probably want to replace that. And then you always want to look at the water heater, January 2025. So this thing is brand new, so you don't have to do a water heater. Now, I was telling you about structural. Look along the walls when you are looking at these old homes, and this house doesn't have, well, we have a little bit of a crack, but that's nothing. And vertical cracks are okay, but if you have like a horizontal crack, meaning that it goes this way, usually that's not good. Those usually mean that there's definitely, not all the time, I want to stress to everybody out there that's a professional in that. Oh, I got a spider on me. But it's just another sign that you should have the home looked at by a structural engineer or somebody. I have a guy I use if you're in the Denver area that can come and do this for you. But there isn't much to look at down here because everything has been, it's got paneling on. The other thing are these old cast drains and so forth. I have dealt with these. Looks like they've replaced this line in the past, but these things right here will crack, FYI. You'll have to tear the floor up. One thing, if you followed me on my other social media pages, I always stress get a sewer line scope when you're buying a house. If there's one inspection item you should get, it's a sewer scope because it's under the ground, obviously, and the lines in these older homes can usually have a lot of tree roots, and it's clay piping when it gets out there, and sometimes they'll just be smashed. So Usually the sellers end up paying for that when there are issues with it, but you want to do that before you buy it. Don't do it afterwards, because you're not going to get anything from them after it's over. Another thing, if you live in Colorado, that you need to look for on these old homes, in any home, do you see the gap? You'll see that 2x4 on the floor, a gap, and then you have one on top. We have what's called floating walls out here in the Colorado area, and what that means is the wall floats, and because of the expansive soils, that gap, there'll be a little, you'll see like a huge nail is what I call it, but a big thick one and a long one, and they actually frame it up here, and it floats to the floor because it expands if the floor on the concrete moves up and down. And if you don't do this, it could shove the 2x4s right up through the upstairs and cause some major foundation issues. So if you go into a home and you don't see these floating walls out here in Colorado, walk away or negotiate it, but that's a big no-no out here. And we do see where do-it-yourselfers have done that. So anyway, that's another little tip for you. Have to show you the wallpaper again. I don't know why, I just haven't seen that kind of wallpaper before. My grandma Maddie loved to wallpaper. So just trying to think what else to cover in the basement down here. Again, you'll want to smell for moisture, mold. I'm originally from Nebraska, so mold is a big deal back there. I think we grew up in mold. That's probably what's wrong with me, just because it's so humid and it's damp, and the basements just have that smell. And if you're from Nebraska or any of those areas, you know what I'm talking about. This property, I don't smell any moisture. The floors seem pretty level down here. They don't seem all wonky like you'll see. So I feel pretty confident about structurally this home being pretty decent, but you just have a lot of work to remove wallpaper and such. So anyway, let's head on upstairs again and let you see these stairs. Check these out again. I haven't seen anything like that. And it is coming down still. Go figure. I wanted to take everybody out and show you some other things, but here we have, what did I say at the beginning? Check out the gutters and so forth, and you can see the water. Actually though, it's not going away from the house. It's kind of pooling right here. And so here's my point of what happens. All this stuff is settling, and it's kind of heaved here, and it's broken. Again, our soils are so expensive that I bet this, it's kind of nice we're here on a rainy day. This water needs to get out there. But if you look at the yard, if you can see on how I don't know if you can see it, but it's slipping about towards the middle there. So I don't like this, the way that this thing is sloped. I'd probably have to get my landscapers out here, my structural guy out here, just to make sure this won't be a problem. If I were buying this house, I just like to cover myself. I have done many structural repairs, but yeah, you can see the damage that this is causing. So you're seeing firsthand what this can do. Anyway, let's try to keep going here and try to stay dry. The other thing is the fuse or the electrical panel. Wow, look at that thing. Here, let's show you. Definitely gonna need gonna need an upgrade on this baby. Yeah, you know, and if you go into older homes, you will see a lot of these panels inside, and Federal Pacific, Zencor. Right now my brain's leaving me on the others, but all you experts that are watching can pipe in on those panels. But they've been known to have or be a fire hazard. So you have to replace that if you were buying this home to say flip it or whatever, because the home inspectors call them every time. And when I'm buying a home, I don't ever get a home inspection. I do my own. But a lot of my buyers get one. And panels definitely get called a lot. So the sellers usually either give a credit to have that done, or they may say no and you have to see if you want to buy the house. You know, it's tough to say, but you just want to get a good inspector to look at that as well. And also for resale too, because you could get hit with that. It's just raining pretty good, but let's show you something else here. The other thing that I like to look at is the roof. Has a tile roof, so that is good. And these things are actually pretty durable. The only issue we have with these out here in the Colorado area is because of the intense sun and everything, they do chip away, but they're easy to fix, do some spot repairs. It looks like you can see all the debris up there. That may be plugging up some of these gutters as well. And those are things you want to look for again. As you can tell, and if you talk to any of my clients, I am big about looking at gutters and just the structural part, because I have done so much of this. And again, you just want to look at the brick. The brick tells a lot of the story. And again, look at this thing. The downspout, it's going up, not, it's raining. You can see the water is coming this way. Not good. So you'd really want to eyeball this. Now this is the garage, so you may get lucky and not see a lot of cracking. Over there where the basement is, you may have a bigger issue. We have one that's busted over here, but look at this. It's not even coming out of the end here. So again, I can't stress to you enough how drainage is important, especially in Colorado. So again, we'll look at the brick. This isn't good. And look at this. This is what you don't want to see. This right here, I see this. The minute I see this on houses, tells me I really need to get my guard up. And this one again, fortunately, brick looks good. It's the garage, so you know, if this were the basement, this could really be bad. They did leave some of the tiles for the roof over there, which is nice if you had to replace it. So anyway, I'm kind of glad it is raining so we can show you that drainage. But right in here is just a swamp almost. So really would want to be careful if you were looking at this house, because we haven't had a lot of rain here lately, so I can't really tell how bad it gets. But over there where I showed you what it did to that patio, that could happen to the house if you don't get this away from the house. Again, we'll look at the brick. So far looks good. And hey, we have central air right here. So that looks fairly new, looks newer than the furnace did. So that's always nice. You always want to look at the fencing too, because a lot of people want a yard. They have kids, they have dogs, especially in Colorado. We're a dog state. And so let's check out this gutter. So you really want to make sure that the yard is tip top. I can't even stress it to people enough how much I've had troubles with projects in the past. because the yard was bad. And here we go. This is what I'm talking about. You'll want to check this out. Now see, you can see where the brick, and again, this usually happens around where the windows are. And this isn't always a structural concern, but you can see where they have tried to patch this up. And sometimes I've seen it, a huge gap. You can almost put your fingers in it. But again, when you see this, this is more of a sign that you should have somebody else take a peek at the house just to make sure that it is structurally sound, especially with the way these gutters are. But you can see the water here coming away from the house just how we want it. So the lesson of the day is keep the water away from the house. And by all means, when you're looking at these old houses, just look at that, the very first thing, and it'll set the what do I want to say, set the table for what's coming. So can't think today. It's been a long week. My rescue dog isn't doing very well, so I got to get home and get her taken care of. But anyway, that's kind of what I look for when I look at these old homes, as far as big time items that could be a problem. And anyway, this home has some good potential. Gonna take some dollars, obviously, to fix it up, but hey, what home doesn't? In here, so we'll go up front now, take a look. Oh, the other thing, when you pull up to the house, I want you to look at the roof line. And like on this house, it looks fine, but some of these homes, you will see the roof line will sag a little bit. I have seen that. And that's a definite sign too that you need to have that home looked at by some type of professional if you're not comfortable with it. Like I said, this one looks good. The only thing I can say is that pillar up front there. Again, from over here, you can see how it isn't touching and it's leaning. So that thing's gonna need some attention. It's like that garage door, but hey, it stopped raining a little bit. Feels pretty nice out here. Anyway, that was my first walkthrough of an old house with you. I'll try to keep doing this monthly for you and so forth, and hopefully teach you a thing or two. That FedEx truck is loud. Anyway, give me some comments if there was something you wanted me to cover. Help me, if there's something that I missed or I was wrong or whatever. Oh, I got to cover this too with sewer lines on these old houses, because we have all these trees. Again, this is where you'll want, again, you're going to get a sewer scope, but more than likely the line probably has a bunch of tree roots in it. Can't really tell on this street. Usually you can go out on the street and see if there's been any repairs, but it looks like they just redid this. So it's hard to say if homes in this area have had it. Now we've had some markings here. So, over there, I'll show you. See the sidewalk, how it's a different color? That was definitely more than likely a sewer repair. So you're gonna really wanna do that. So the things to take away from this right now: walk up to the house, look at the roof line, look at the downspouts. If they're in the up position, if there aren't any on there, they're just not where they should be. You need to put your guard up. Get a sewer scope. I cannot stress it to people. And it's too bad, because if you get an inspector, and I want to cover this quick, you get a home inspector that does sewer scopes and they're entrenched with plumbers, excavators, and so forth, run. I'm telling you, run for the hills. I have saved my sellers thousands of dollars because of these companies trying to rip people off. They use these little cameras to make things look like there's water holding worse than it is. They try to tell people the lines are compromised when they're not. They just need hydrojetted. So just be careful who you choose for your inspector. And if you're selling a house, especially like this, make sure you select a good agent or somebody that can help you on the inspection, fight whatever comes up, just to make sure that the inspector is legit. And all you inspectors watching this, I'm not saying you're all bad. It's just like every profession, there's always somebody that is the bad one out there. So again, I just want to stress that to you. I just hate seeing people getting off and so forth. And hey, and at the end of the day, after you're done, you negotiate, you buy a place, you know, have the seller throw in a home warranty and so forth. In a house like this, I'd have to say you'd probably are just going to buy it, tear everything out, start fresh and brand new. But this house is livable. It has good bones, and you could make it your own while you're living here. Anyway, I'll quit rambling. Hope you enjoyed the tour of this place, and who knows, maybe I'm going to buy this place for a project, and if so, I'll keep everybody informed. And anyway, everybody have a great weekend, and leave me some comments, and we will see you all soon.